Anyone who has talked to me knows that I've actually talked a lot of people out of buying. So why, as a real estate buyer's agent, am I so strongly against people blindly buying a home? If you're like me and have seen too many cases where people force themselves to buy their so-called dream home only to see their quality of life plummet as a result. Or there are also people who almost defaulted on their mortgage because of interest rate hikes. If you've seen those cases, you'll feel the same as I do. Buying property as an investment isn't as wonderful as it seems. Take us for example. We have the trust of dozens of major real estate agencies in Melbourne, and we can also access a lot of off-market properties that aren't publicly listed. Because we've just finished Christmas, there are properties that are still being prepared to go on the market in January, February, and March. We probably have 40 or 50 of these in hand, even though we haven't actually viewed them yet. Working as a buyer's agent does bring me pretty good returns. Even though my follower count isn't exactly top tier, the people who come to me are all high net worth targeted clients. In recent years, I've also used this professional selection logic to acquire quite a few high quality assets for myself. But listen carefully, why do I still advise a lot of people not to buy? First, even if I don't take your case right now, with my own investment returns and referrals from my existing clients, we can still do very well. I don't need to say anything against my conscience or push you into a pit just for a few thousand yuan in commission. Second, from a subjective perspective, I believe that buying property is not suitable. Listen carefully, it is not suitable for everyone at this stage. It's only right for those who have healthy cash flow and clear plans, the deep players. And my values and principles are that a house should serve people, not the other way around. You shouldn't have to serve it. It shouldn't be something you worry about. In fact, after investing in a property, you should feel happier. So you can actually use this as a way to judge whether your investment property is the right one. At the same time, there are also people, if you look around, you'll see many, whose cash flow is already very tight, yet they still take on huge mortgages to buy a luxury home. For example, you could completely change your approach and try rent vesting, renting a place to live in while investing in areas you believe have potential. I genuinely believe that renting an affordable or comfortable apartment near your workplace, not necessarily the cheapest, but one with a short commute and low living costs, while putting your savings into a cash cow property with high rental returns and low holding costs is a smart approach. If you can understand and master this kind of subtraction in asset allocation, then this lifestyle will definitely be much more comfortable than struggling to pay off a big house. That big lawn in your backyard, that swimming pool, have you ever actually used them? Right? What's the point of buying such a big house? A lot of times, especially for young people, you shouldn't insist on getting everything perfect from the start. Many people just blindly chase after bigger land and bigger houses, but the real veterans actually get more refined and precise as they go along. Trust me, as long as your place is quiet enough and feels right to you, even if you're just renting, it will give you a much greater sense of security than forcing yourself to move into a house that's far away from where you work. And when it comes to measuring the quality and happiness of your life, it's definitely not determined by how big your house is, how many bathrooms or garages you have. On the contrary, it's about whether you wake up every day feeling anxious, whether you have a mortgage hanging over you,